All right, so we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a morning episode of Eliteserien Fantasy. I'm here joined by Jakob today. Espen is still red flagged, but today I'm joined by Jakob to review Game Week 3 just behind us. And today, another deadline, another match day, Game Week 4. Jakob, tell me, how are you?
I am very good, Karam, and excited for Game Week 4 of Eliteserien.
Yeah, so am I. And tell us what is on the agenda for today.
Yes, the agenda for today, we're of course going to talk about the Bodø/Glimt. Their hot form continues. 3 wins from 3 now, an amazing comeback against Rosenborg. Who do we pick from their side? Borven redeemed himself, scored a hat-trick against his old coach, Fagermo. Is it a keep or is it a sell or is it a buy even? Some of us have a wild card in play. Who do we pick on our wild card? And of course, we're going to look at our Game Week 4 transfer plans and captain choice.
Well, lovely stuff. So let's kick off with a Game Week 3 review and see how we did. After a poor Saturday for me, sorry, the first day was it Tuesday, Wednesday. It's a lot of game weeks now running in days. So Wednesday was a little bit poor for me, I would say. But Thursday was a lot of penalty goals. So I'm putting here on the screen the score of my team, 83 points with a hit, so 79 net. A green arrow from 1900 to 1300 now. Pretty pleasant with pretty much everyone, I would say. Dessler assist, Hagen a goal, was subbed off before the 60 minutes, but they did not clean sheet anyway. Alvestad, 2 bonus points. I was like, wow, the man is legend out of nowhere. This week is sponsored by Redemption. So Maigard redeemed himself. Borven shows why he is 11 million with a hat-trick. Sandberg, what a man. What a man. Goal and assist and 3 bonus points. Singernagel, finally, 2 bonus points. I was like, it's a penalty. Hey, they will take it. All of a sudden, there is a number 10 behind the ball. It's like, wow, Singernagel, since when? And Salvesen, 2 fantasy assists. I will take that as a new signing. Uhi, I knee-jerked the news, I would say. When you hear that James is out and Uhi will start, I want to captain a Molde player against the start. And that's what I did. I took a hit. James out, Kinoshita out, and Zakariasin out. None has done anything. For Cassie, didn't do anything. Uhi, nothing. But Salvesen got 2 assists. So I'm a little bit up in the deal, but very disappointing captain fail. Wildcard is in play, so I will show you later on what my wildcard looks like. But Jakob, you didn't have the best game week, I would say. 63 points. Tell us what happened and who did you miss?
Yeah, as you can see, apart from Sandberg in his goalkeeping kit, I don't have any yellow players, so no Bodø players, and that hurt my rank. But there is 2 clean sheets for Stabæk and a goal for Hank Olsen. So that helped a lot. Sandberg delivers again. Wolf Eikrem, of course, picked the wrong captain for Molde. Although I think we could feel unlucky with Uhi because he should have had a penalty and he missed some big chances as well. So a bit irritating. And Salvesen, 2 cheap assists, blocked shot, which got a penalty, and a blocked shot again that got put in on the rebound, so 2 assists for him. But apart from that, my defense again, 2 ones, and Ibrahima and Ofkir again does not deliver. So 63 points with a -4, so I go from around 500 rank to around 2000. So
oh wow.
Big red arrow for me.
Yeah, it looks red though, but we are still game week 3, so you can easily come back to 1000. But yeah, it's a long way to go. A lot of people as well in the chat. Welcome everyone. Just over 20 people here. A lot of them are disappointed because they also captained Uhi. So we probably have done on paper the right thing, but it just didn't come good. Let's go and review the game with 3 matches. Let's start with Alisson 2 and Brian 2. One of the main replacements for James was Bamba. Many of us in the community have gone with Bamba, rewarded with 13 points. Castro final came good with a goal and assist. Nordley, this guy is a legend. 7 million. He has returned in every game week so far. So with the upcoming fixtures for Brann against Rosenborg, who sacked their manager, is it a good idea to go for Bamba? And what do you think of this game?
Yeah, possibly. I was one of the guys who were contemplating on going for Bamba, but I went for Uhi, sadly. But the reason I was not going for Bamba was because they are facing Rosenborg now next game week. But as you said, they're sacked the manager. There's a bit of a chaos in that club. And when you sack a manager, either it goes the right way and they win next game, or it just continues to be miserable. So I don't think I would buy Bamba for this round, maybe. But he is the main striker in this club and has looked good. 3 goals in his last 2 games. So why not?
Why not? And his price has risen from 9 to 9.2, and his ownership is increasing to 20.4%. So he is going to be highly owned very, very soon. Right. So if we go to next game, Harrison 2, Christiansen 2. This game was amazing for me because I had Sandberg, Dessler, and Alvestad, which all of them got the bonus points at the end. But what a guy! A penalty from Sandberg and an assist as well. So did you see a different Harrison from the first 2 game weeks? They still concede 2 goals, but it looks like they are putting some attacking forms. What do you think?
Yeah, attacking wise, they looked very good. They should have had a win because they deserved it. But their keeper Sandvik with 2 big mistakes, which led to Kristiansund goals, or 1 big mistake at least. And Sandberg again delivers 1 goal, 1 assist. And finally, we see that Amit Spøl, who was very good in preseason, scores a goal and is a cheap striker if someone is looking for a cheap neighbor up top. But yeah, and in Kristiansund, our old favorite scored in Psyche. And he has started 2 games in a row now, I believe. So maybe he is back in contention for our teams.
To be honest, I was not really sure why Sika was already dropped beginning of the season. There are only 9 players last season who scored more goals than Sika, and he's a defender. So he's bringing a lot of goal threat, but probably he's not a good defender in himself. I'm not sure why. But yeah, he's getting really a good run, and he's still owned by 31%. So wow, anything from him will definitely hurt. Start 2, Molde 3. I think this game showed like a champion mentality. You said that on Slack, Jakob. A goal in the 96th minute by the one who is going to get bonus anyways, Gregerson. So that's a win, 3-2, 3 from 3 as well to Molde. This match was sponsored by the defenders. A goal from Hayden, Pedersen, and Gregerson. 2 assists from Akrem and nothing for Uhi. So the question will remain: is it now wise to go without Akrem anymore? If we don't have him, shall we get him over the strikers? And is a double defense a good option now?
Yes, if you like red arrows, you can go without Akrem because he played like 58 minutes, got 3 bonus and 2 assists. So imagine if he gets like 70, 75 minutes. And he should have scored. He missed some big chances as well this game. So Akrem was really good. Double defense, as you talked about, could be a good option. As we talked about earlier today, if you get Haugen and Gregersen, for instance, combined, they are the same price as one of the strikers.
Yeah.
And if they get the clean sheet, you need your striker to score 2 goals
Yeah.
to get the same amount.
We were
of
talking
points.
about this before the recording, indeed. Yeah.
And Haugen scored, Holmgren Pedersen scored as well, or the 3 defenders scored. So there is some doubt about their injuries, but I think they will be back for this game week. So that's good for them. And also worth noticing in start, when we were talking about cheap strikers, Bringakov, 3 goals in 3 games now. He was used as a sub this game, but he has started the 2 first games. So I think he's like 5.7 or something.
Yeah.
So that could be an option as well.
Yeah, if you struggle to upgrade from Kinoshita or Strand Larsen to go for someone like Juncker or Salvesen, then Bringaker is a budget option. Could be a bench in the tough games, although he scored against Molde, so probably he is capable of it. But I do see him an option for a third striker for sure. Stabæk comes back to the clean sheet ways and the win ways by 2-0 against Sandefjord. Hans Olsen, what a guy, a goal and 2 bonus points and the clean sheet. So happy days for Sandberg and the defenders in general. Cassie blanked Buhinen assist and a bonus point. So how do we look at Stabæk now? Now we know that Vogt is still ill, so he will not make game week 4. But have you been impressed by Jonassen, for example? Could he take his place permanently? Options up top. I know Kinoshita was dropped, so Edvardsen came in with an assist. Do you think he will keep his place?
I believe he will keep his place. I don't know if they have signed a new striker from the Netherlands called Marston or something.
Yeah.
And he didn't play last game because he was in quarantine because he moved country. Yeah. But I think he will be able to play this game. Okay. So maybe, I don't think he will start, but for Kinoshita owners, I would definitely sell because now there is a striker and Edvardsen in front of him.
I'm not sure if the new striker is in the game already. Have they priced him yet? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I will have a look shortly on that. But yeah, that's something to really keep an eye.
But yeah, and as you said, Stabæk defense delivering once again. 2 clean sheets at home now.
Yeah.
Facing Molde, of course, this game week. So maybe not expect a clean sheet, but some save points from Sandberg. Yeah. Maybe a Hanke Olsen goal. That's the good thing about Hanke Olsen, and that's why he's higher priced than the other defenders in Stabæk, because he is so dangerous on set pieces. I was irritated in the start of the game week when I watched the game because the 2 corners before he scored, he missed 2 big chances.
Wow.
So, but he scored on the 3rd one. So, but he looks dangerous on set pieces. And Sandefjord, I don't think they created a single chance against Stabæk. So this is maybe the Sandefjord we were expecting to see at the start of the season.
Yeah, Hans Olsen owned by 32%. That's a massive red arrow for him if you don't own him. However, they play Molde next game week, so probably if you want to get him in, probably wait for 1 more week. He's too expensive for benching him, for example, or you can get him, but you don't expect much from him. Although in this Eliteserien, he can get bonus points somehow if he performs well in defense. He will be under pressure for sure from Molde attack. Right, so moving on to your team, Jakob. Viking 1, Mjøndalen 1. I think they have done a lot of rotation. So Pereira was benched, Ostensen was benched, I think. So have you seen a better team with these changes? What formation they have played with, and is that going to continue?
Yeah, they played sort of the same formation they have used this season, but with some changes, as you said. I feel they created more chances, but again, they let in a stupid goal, easy goal for Ibrahim, who scored 2 goals in his 2 first games for Mjøndalen now, another cheap striker to keep an eye out for. But Berisha finally scores. It was a penalty, but I think that is very important for his confidence that he has finally scored. And now some team news that Høyland is not even in the squad for this weekend, so Berisha will definitely start. But yeah, as you said, some rotation. Aukland, 17-year-old, looked very good.
Yeah.
So a positive game for Viking, but 1 point against Mjøndalen, that's not very good. But Mjøndalen again looks solid at the back.
Yeah.
Makani, I've seen some interviews after the game that he was joking when he was saying that he was the best goalkeeper in the league. But his coach is definitely the meaning that he is the best goalkeeper in the league. And he had 4 saves, 3 bonus points. So yeah, could be a good option, a cheap goalkeeper.
Yeah, he is 4.5, 4.6 now, and I was caught by McCanny, and I definitely see a better potential than Kleisen. Next games are Christiansen, could be tricky, but then they have Alisson, a game with 5, Molde, save points, and then Valering, the strong growth. So a good run in general, definitely better than Valering, who looked really shaky. 4 goals they conceded against Odd. Speaking about this, Borven, what a guy! Welcome back to the old days with a hat trick. Williamson converted a penalty, and Hoff scored a goal. So, Odd, what do you think?
This is like the prime game to show how Eliteserien is. It's like bingo because Vålerenga has looked good in the first 2 games with the new coach, and Odd has looked horrendous. Borven has looked like he want to move to Rosenborg already, and then 3 goals. And they looked very good. And we were thinking about Vålerenga that their defense might be better this season because of Fagermo. But 6 goals conceded in the last 2 games. Claesson with some not huge mistakes, but some more experienced goalkeeper would have saved or done better with. So yeah, difficult decision in this game is of course Borven, because maybe a lot of people sold him before this game week. Maybe someone was patient and kept him, and if you kept him, what do you do with him now? He has a good fixtures against Start, but there are some other strikers, and he will leave for Rosenborg, and Rosenborg look a mess right now. So it's difficult.
It's a tricky one. As of me on the Wildcard, I had to make a tough decision against Borven, not because of game week 4, or what is after that. Game week 5, Bodø Glimt, 6, Harrison, Viking, Brann. These are on paper difficult teams. So it would be painful if he scores against Start, but in the run, I think, as you said, there are better strikers for a cheaper price that can match him, or maybe outscore him. So I will show you the draft next in the end of the video, if I have Borven still or not. But Salzburg 2, Strømsgodset 3. I think this is one of the most entertaining games in the in this fixture, with Start, Molde, and Rosenborg Bodø Glimt. I think this one comes third. In terms of excitement, Salzburg was very close to nick a point from this game, but most 2 goals from penalty, and he missed like 20 centimeters away from the goal, and he missed it. Maigard, 2 penalties, pleased as an owner, but from the eye test he looked really deep. He didn't have a shot apart from the penalties, so a question mark whether I will keep him on the wildcard or not. Salvesen, 2 assists, fantasy assists to be fair, one from the penalty, the handball, and the other one was a blocked shot rebound from the goalkeeper. But Strømsgodset back to winning ways. What do you think of this game? Both defenses looked rubbish, by the way.
As expected, both defenses. Strasbourg concedes, they conceded 2 penalties, but they don't concede a lot of chances. But when they concede chances, they concede goals. So their keeper, who was praised a lot before the season, has not been great. But yes, as you said, Moss come in for Stan Larsen, scored 2 goals, means that he possibly will keep his place, and Stan Larsen will be benched. So maybe sell if you are an owner. Myra, another cheap goalkeeper, 8 saves, and 1 including a penalty save.
Wow.
So the keepers from Strømsgodset and Mjøndalen could be, if you want to go for a cheap goalkeeper, but they concede 2 goals. So you have to depend on saves for that one. Because as you said, Maigard 2 goals, but if you didn't watch the game, you don't have to be fooled because he didn't look good, as you said, on the eye test. He only 2 penalties. Apart from that, didn't create a lot. But they have Ålesund, so it's difficult to not sell.
Yeah.
And the Sarpsborg looks the same as last season. They play good, but they can't seem to win the games. They either draw or lose, and this is their 3rd loss in a row. So
it's gonna be tough on Sarpsborg indeed. Last game here. Wow, what a game, man! What a game. We were talking on the Slack on why I was talking on the Slack as like why Bodø/Glimt might not win the Eliteserien because they were so good and they missed a lot of the chances, and they probably let the game go from them. But then blah blah blah, 2 goals, 2 goals in the last 3 minutes for Bodø/Glimt and a comeback. So Rosenborg. They sacked the manager, so a question mark on them. But Bodø/Glimt, their hot form continues. So, how pleased were you from seeing Bodø/Glimt, such a quality football team?
Yeah, from a footballing point, I love to see them play because they're so good. Especially Berg and Saltnes on the midfield. They control the whole game. And then you have Sinkernagel who does some magic things. And Junker, he looks very good. Last season, he missed some big chances, but this season, it looks like if he gets the chance, he scores.
Yeah.
So that was nice, and I'm not a big fan of Rosenborg either way, so it was nice to see them lose. And I was afraid because I was tweeting during the game that Islamovic looks rubbish. And then he scores. I thought. And I thought they had jinxed it. But then Bjørkan got the own goal, and Islamovic has no goals for Rosenborg still. So, but Bodø/Glimt, with no players from a fantasy perspective, they're just too good to ignore. So, we have to bring some Bodø/Glimt players.
Yeah, I totally see that. It was a perfect fantasy game as well, as a Bjørkan non-owner who was owned by 32%. I can't remember now. He's down to 27%. But a -2. He didn't get a red card, but his own goal conceded to and a yellow card. So that was decent from a fantasy point of view as a non-owner. Sadly, to the owners of Bjørkan. Zachariasen, another blank on the road. So a question here from Trevor Barreto. Welcome to the stream, and I was going to ask this as well. Is there a faith to keep Zachariasen now?
As you said earlier in the stream, this was the round for the redemption. Maigard scored, Borven scored. So I was like, can it be a hat-trick and Zachariasen also will score?
Yeah.
He didn't look that dangerous in this game as well. I kept him because he looked good against Molde. But this game, he looked more like a central midfielder and not too many runs inside the box.
Yeah.
Which you want from a midfielder at 8.5 or 8.4 now. So when we look at our teams later in this stream, I don't think you will see a Zachariasen in my team anymore.
No, yeah, I totally agree. I expected more from Zachariasen going forward. He had a decent chance against Molde, but that was pretty much it in 3 games, so that's not great. Well, let's stay with Bodø/Glimt, and we have too many questions about which 3 attackers, or if we consider defenders, to load up from Bodø/Glimt. They are so good now, and arguably underpriced compared to what they perform. So what I have done here is I put a position average and a heat map for the Bodø/Glimt team in the first 3 fixtures, just to give you an idea who are the most advanced players and who are the less advanced. So against Viking, you can see that Junker, of course, is top, is the most advanced, then Zachariasen, and then Hege, and just behind Hege is Saltnes. So that gives you an indication about the position-wise. What I noticed in the game, and that happens again against Haugesund, Sinkernagel and Hege go really wide and allow Junker, Hege, and Junker, Saltnes, and Fit to draw inside to attack, and vice versa. When the central mids comes backwards, then Sinkernagel cuts inside. So that's an interesting approach for them. And pretty much nothing has changed in the second game. And of course, if you look at the third game against Rosenborg, Sinkernagel was the most advanced. In front of Juncker, and then again Heide. So you can see the order already. Juncker, Sinkernagel, Heide, and maybe Saltness if you are really short on that 0.2. I think, Jakob, you have some stats as well for Bodo Glimt players and maybe other teams. So tell us about them.
I posted on Twitter this morning because I know that a lot of people are thinking about who to bring in from Bodo.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we don't need to bring in a defender as it looks because they concede, and Bjørkan does not look the same as he did last season. But I have some stats. So we have Berg, the cheap option, 4.6 now. 7 shots in the first 3 games from a defensive midfielder and 3 key passes. He has 1 goal and 8 bonus points so far. So he's a bonus point magnet, and
more than
he said in some interviews as well that he wants to push more forward. So maybe some more goals, and he's a cheap way into the Bodo Glimt team. Then you have Saltness, 7.5, 4 shots and 10 key passes, 1 goal, 3 assists, and 1 bonus points only. Then you have the big one, Sinkernagel, 8.3 now. Has 8 shots and 13 key passes.
Wow.
He has 2 goals, 3 assists, and 3 bonus. Then you have Jeppe Hauge, 9 shots and 6 key passes. He has 2 goals, 3 assists, and 2 bonus points. And then you have the most expensive one, Julker, 8.5 now. 9 shots, 8 key passes, 4 goals, 2 assists, and 3 bonus points. So the one with the less goal involvement has the most bonus points, so that shows you how the bonus points is in Eliteserien. But the higher the price, the better stats they have, I would say. So yeah.
Well, it's a very tough. Everything is decent for them. Every number is a decent one. So let's say you want to order the top 3 for you. In order, if you can. It's tough, of course. But who would you recommend for the viewers to get in priority?
I think it's easy because he has some good stats and he is the best player in that team. You would go for Sinkernagel as the best option. Then I would possibly go for Berg because of his price as the second option, and as a third option, maybe Juncker, because he's the one who's scoring the goals, and he's played so good now that I don't think he will rotate much with Boniface. So Sinkernagel, Berg, and Juncker.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you. I will just swap Berg with Heide. I was a huge fan of Berg until last night, probably, because the value he brings. But at the same time, I think I am more convinced now. I had a chat with some guys as well, including Jørgen Nesse on Twitter. He was saying that this spot is so valuable to give it away to Berg, who you will bench probably, or you will play 1 week in, 1 week out. And by mid-July, the travel will be eased a bit between Belgium or Norway in one of those countries. So that means that he can travel and join the Belgian team that he signed for. He has already signed a contract, but waits for the medical. And between now and mid-July, these are 5 game weeks. So he can deliver a lot of points, and we might miss out just because he's gonna leave soon. So I think Heide should be in the question. Fett is really cheap. Is really like intriguing option, but he rotated his place, so I don't think that he's nailed on. I don't remember the name of the other guy. Is Skita or something?
Skita, yes, and he scored not last game, but the game against Haugesund. So I think he will get some more minutes in the last or the next few game weeks.
Yeah. So that basically means Sinkernagel, Juncker, and Heide. Maybe Saltness. So I've got a stat from him. The first 2 games, Heide had 2.1 XGI. Berg had 0.2 the first first 2 game weeks. Compared to last year, Berg had 0.03 xg and 0.05 xa per 90 minutes. Heide had way more. He had 0.32 xg per 90 minutes, which shows that like he's way more attacking. And 3 million more, yes, it's a lot of money, but you probably will you will get more points with that. Berg will rely pretty much on the bonus points more than the attacking return. So I would say that the Heide pick should be considered more. I don't think as well the defenders are good. Probably Bjorkan is too expensive at least, so you can go for Mu or who is the other pick? Lode, I think 4.5. Yep. So yeah, but I think there are better defenders and better teams than Bodø/Glimt. That's known from last season, I think. Right, so a lot of discussion about Bodø/Glimt, and is there anything you want to add, stats-wise or something? Otherwise, we can move on to the wildcard options.
No, the only advice I would give is to get in some Bodø/Glimt players, because if not, you will get some red arrows for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So, moving on to, I would say game week 4. I will just put the games here. So we have only one game before the deadline, so we will not get a lot of team sheets, sadly, this game week. But captain options, who do you think the standout one, if there is any?
Yeah, the two obvious is, of course, either a Bodø/Glimt player or a Molde player, but I think the captaincy will be spread around this game week, because Strømsgodset have a good fixture against Ålesund. If you have Salvesen or Maigard, you have Ohi, Leke, Wolf from Molde. You have all the Bodø/Glimt guys, and also in my team now, I have a bit of a differential, and that is Sandberg and Haugesund versus Sandefjord. Because Sandefjord looked very poor against Stabæk last game week, and Haugesund attacking-wise looked very good against Kristiansund. So that is also an option.
Yeah. I do like the Bodø/Glimt options. Is intriguing. Salvesen is another one that stands out against Ålesund, I agree. Molde is always there with the picks. You just don't know which of James and Uhi will start. So Akram is always the safe pick. I'll take 60 minutes from Akram rather than 90 minutes from pretty much 90% of the players in the league. So he is too good for that. Right. So I will go to the Q&A. We have a lot of questions. We already answered some of them, especially about Bodø/Glimt already in the stream. But I would start with Stats Don't Lie from the Slack. Thanks for the question. He's asking about the speech rush for this game week and which forwards you would go for if you wanna use it. I personally was a fan of a game week 4 speech rush, and I was planning so. But what Ikram did is like, no, I have to prioritize. I have to wildcard, which means I can't use another chip. But for me, it looks like that Junker, Salvesen, and whoever plays for Molde in attack, probably James, his turn. I think these three are one of the best combos for the speech rush. You agree? You have other name to mention? Bamba, maybe?
Maybe Bamba, but this week could be a good week to use the speech rush. The reason I'm not using it because I don't have the funds yet to get 3 good strikers, and it's still so unsure who to start up top for Molde this game week because Leke has been injured, so we don't know how much he will play. So it's a bit difficult, and also there are some other game weeks that looks quite good. And also the news confirmed today, I see some in the chat asking about the 2 captainship. The news that there will be possibly some double game weeks in August because of teams going to play qualifiers in Europe. So that could mean, I listened to a Norwegian podcast yesterday about Eliteserien Fantasy, and they revealed that most likely Molde will get the double game week against Sandefjord and Start.
That's game week
12. The 2 newly promoted teams. So that could be very good to target for some chips. But yeah, I will not use it this rush. But if you have three strikers with good fixtures, this could be a good round to use the chip.
Yeah, and it seems like that the forwards are generally overpriced, or they are not great options in general. So it would be like cool thing to just get rid of the chip and change formation to 3-5-2 or 4-4-2. That would be intriguing, but I wouldn't rely on this idea much. But it's just a thought of this. Sundar Laksa is asking about James. Looks like a player who will come in and out for Uhi. Is he a keep, or rely more on Akram and defenders potentially? So what do you think?
Yeah, it depends, because I was thinking about this earlier today, that if you have both Leke and Akram, or Uhi and Akram, you would most likely captain Akram most of the times. And then I don't think it's necessary to have such an expensive striker that you most likely won't captain. Then, as we said earlier in the stream, maybe it's better to go for two defenders that will get you some clean sheets, often bonus points as well. And if you have a fullback as Haugen or Pedersen, you will get some attacking returns. Then you will get like 12 to 15 points from those two. And then the striker will have to score a lot of goals to take back those points. But it's of course a risk to take out Leke and Uhi, because they will have games where they will score 2 or 3 goals. But if you have the two defenders and Akram, I think you will be covered good.
Yeah. Dr. Odd is asking about the goalkeepers. He is struggling with this position. Is it Lyson still worth holding, and who are the best alternative? I think for me, if you are not wildcarding or you have problems elsewhere, I would keep it Lyson. Rarely that goalkeeper transfer like pays off immediately. But if you want to consider alternatives, we just mentioned two, Mira and Makani. Cheaper and proved so far that they are good value, so you might consider one of them. Let's see what we've got. Okay, Cassie, is he a keep or sell? That's from Abir Rajab, and he's asking whether he starts him over Bird or not. But I would definitely consider starting Cassie. But is he a good option? He looked good the last 2 games. 13 points, but then 3. What do you think of him?
Next game he plays Molde, so maybe start Berg this game week. But Cassie, he's playing a more advanced role this year.
On the wing, right?
Yeah, and when was it? Like 2 seasons ago, he had a really good season in fantasy. And I feel if you owned him last game week, you were very unlucky, because he was close to scoring.
Yeah.
Was one of the best players on the field, so maybe he should have got some bonus points. But Cassie is a keep for me if you have him, because he looks quite good. And as you said, playing in a more advanced role, plays against Strømsgodset the game week after Molde. I would say he's a keep.
Yeah. Skipper FPL on Twitter is asking about Henderson. So 2 parts. The first part is about Stolas. Is it a good time to bring him in or not yet, and which attacker you would recommend? I personally say wait on Stolas and get Sandberg in midfield or busted. So what do you think, Jakob?
Yeah, Stolas, I had some hopes that he might start last game week, because he got subbed in versus Bodø/Glimt, but he was not used, as I don't know if he was on the bench either against Kristiansund last game week. So they're being patient with him, and so should we, I believe. Wait till he gets some starts, and then maybe bring him in, because he is 7.5. So there's a lot of money to bring him in, and for the same price, as you said, you can get Sandberg, who has proven good form this season. But attacking wise, I've also think about this question, because the upcoming games for Haugesund is Sandefjord, Start, and Odd. 3 teams who concede a lot of goals and chances. So last game week, Amitsbøl, cheap striker, scored for Haugesund, 6.4. Could be an under 1% owned, so could be a big differential if you want to go for him.
Oh wow! Remind me if last game Amitsbøl and who is the other striker? If they start together, I think they were rotating.
Kalman.
Kalman, yeah. They were rotating the first two games, but it looks like they played together. Is that entirely correct? I can't remember.
Yeah, I believe so. But Amitsbøl was brought in this season. He is actually a striker. He has been used as a left winger, inside forward type of player.
Okay.
So they will be rotated, but I think because Amitsbøl scored, Kalman has not looked that great. That Amitsbøl is more likely to keep his place than Kalman. So, and soon, I don't know exactly the date, but Vaji soon back for Haugesund.
I think game week
that is 8. Bad news for Kalman owners.
Yeah, I do think it's game week 8, if I remember correctly. I think he's decent player when he comes back, and great addition to Huddersfield indeed. FPL Italia, with the last question we have before we move on, is asking about cheap strikers to own. And we already mentioned 2 or 3, right? We mentioned Amitsbøl, we mentioned Ibrahim Shuaiba, and we mentioned Bringaker. Yeah, I still miss his name. 3 options with good fixtures. You don't expect much from them, but if you need the funds elsewhere, then these 3 would be good value. Right, so let's move.
Could also add, we have gotten a guy on Twitter who he's very good with the lineups. His name is Jørgen Tjærnås, Jutjar on Twitter if you want to follow. And last game week, he only missed 2 players from 176 who were starting.
Wow.
He has posted recently on Twitter the lineups for the games today. They're not 100% confirmed, but he's most likely right. And it looks like no big players apart from Finne in Vålerenga is benched. But other than that, it looks like the teams play their same teams. Østensen, another cheap striker, comes in for Viking again.
Yeah.
But the Borven starts. Bringaker is back in the team. If anyone wants to go. So
And out of James and Uhi, since we talk about that, did he mention?
Nothing. He only mentioned the games. He says that he will come back later today with the more news, possibly before the deadline.
Okay. And Tropians, welcome again to the stream. He says he could be one of the real in the know indeed. So can you write his Twitter handle? Yes, we will mention that.
I can write it here.
In the chat, and I will leave it in the description as well, so you can have a look and follow him. He is a good person to follow. Yes. Right. So let's move on to our teams and plans for game week 4. A lot of decisions to make on Bodø Glimt and the captaincy as well. So Jakob, I put your team. I think you are already on a -4, right?
Oh yes.
And you are close, or maybe doing the wildcard. I don't know if you decided not to at the end, but tell us about your team, captain, and your thoughts.
Yeah, you have gone for the wild card. I have gotten a lot of tweets with teams from last game week and teams this game week that look so good that I'm really tempted to do. But either I'm very smart and keeping it, or I'm very stupid to not use it. But we have to wait and see.
You will be fine.
So I've done another -4. I am that type of fancy player that does a lot of hits anyway, so it doesn't bother me. But I needed to sort out my defense and my no Bodø Glimt players' problems. So I've gone for Pereira out because, once again, he is not starting. And at 6.0, I can't have a defender who is in and out of the team. So I've gone for the bonus point magnet Solholm Johansen. Mjøndalen looked very good in defense, and he's such a threat on set pieces as well. I think he was their top scorer last season. Even. So He's not scored yet, and I think he's due for a goal at home to Kristiansund. They did not look great defensively versus Haugesund, so maybe a goal there. And I also had enough of Zachariasen and got brought in Saltnes as a bit of a differential. And the reason for that is I needed some money in the bank to upgrade my defense in the next couple of game weeks, because Bojang and Vogt, maybe Vogt is back, but Bojang is not looking great. And Foss Sandefjord have signed a new center back, I believe. So maybe Foss's place in the starting 11 is a doubt. So I will play him this game week, but I need to sort out my defense. So and now I have 1.9 million in the bank to upgrade for that. And I also believe Saltnes could get some good points.
Yeah, it looks a bit.
The rest of the team looks good, and Sandberg possibly my differential captain.
Wow, that's a great pick. And you play Sandberg captain against Foss in the same team, so you don't really expect much. It's just the fact that Bojang will not get you anything, and Vogt will not get anything because he is missing out. Saltnes, I like him, as I said. He is a good pick. Having him alone looks a bit still scary. Maybe he will be a nice second Bodø/Glimt asset with one of Singranagel or Jonkar. Having Saltnes alone, it's like to have Firmino alone, but without Mane or Salah, right?
I could also possibly go for the defense looks so poor, so I feel like I must change it, but Ibrahimai and Ofkir on the flanks here, they've not been great. So I could upgrade one of them to another Bodø/Glimt. That's what I want to do. But my logical side of the brain says that you can't have Foss and Bojang in your defense anymore. So
and you are still keeping Uhi. So if there is a chance that you might miss out on Uhi as well if James is starting. So
I'm not expecting much from this game week. But the game weeks you not expect that much is maybe the game weeks you get a high score. So
absolutely, and you are a prime example of game week 2 when your team did not pretty much do anything, but your captain delivered 46 points on his own. So you really need a captain success this game week more than anything, I would say. All right, so good luck with that. And here is my wildcard team. All right, so Clayson is gone for McCanny. I actually kept Haig 4.0. Maybe Clayson will lose his place, just like a wishful thinking. No sources or so, but he looked very poor.
It looks like from the sources we talked about earlier that Clayson keeps his place for this game.
Okay. I think he conceded a lot of mistakes that led to a loss in the last 2 games. So I kept Haig. I might choose the McCanny backup. It's not a big deal anyway. But the major change was Akren, not Ikram. Ikram is N. I can't. He's just too good, and I want to enjoy Eliteserien, and I enjoy him, but I can't because he's not in my fantasy team, right? And I'm done with James and Uhi. They were like, they trolled me for 3 weeks with a red card, blank, and no show. So Akram is in, and I went for a double defense in Molde. Hayden is so attacking. He delivered every game week, and I have some like faith in him because he was so gold last season. So I know what I'm getting from him. Gregerson, for obvious reason, cheap route, bonus points magnet, likable from the commentators. My issue is pretty much about the third spot. I have Asbach, who is very attacking and on set pieces, and I have Johnson of Sandefjord, who interestingly played 2 games on the right wing, so he's out of position. Could be exciting, but in not the best team, I would say. The other option is, because I'm missing Stabæk defense. I feel Stabæk, they are like Burnley. You have to get one of them. So I could sacrifice Asbach and go for Alvestad, who I owned previously, or Colley, the right back, who delivered 2 assists so far. Or 1, I'm not sure. I think 1 for 4.5, and go for Sulheim at 5.0. And in a tough fixture for Stabæk like Molde, I can't bench him because I can't afford. So this could be a combination. I'm pretty much settled on the midfield. and the attack. Heiga is in, Sandberg, Eikrem, Sindronagel, and Maigard. I said Maigard did not impress me at all in the first 3 game weeks, but it's Alicent. They can't concede from set pieces, they can't concede penalties, so I want to take that a chance. Also, I have money in the bank to go for Pellegrino after Molde game, so in 2 game weeks time. So that's the idea behind holding a spot for Maigard to Pellegrino. Junker and Salvesen, obvious pick. No Borven. I really like. I can't do that. I can't sell him. But it is the sacrifice I have to make for all these good options. So Johnson, Dalland, and Husted are the bench. So you have the wild card. Do you think I'm missing a big player as well? Also, the chat, tell us if I am missing a big player in the team. Do you think?
No, I am very jealous of your team, I must say. Again, I'm being tempted to press that wildcard button, but the only, not a problem, but as you said, the big decision is Borven not in your team. Could score again today versus Start, but it's the risk you have to take. And Maigard, of course, plays Ålesund, so it's a good fixture for him. I like the double Molde defense a lot. Osbach as well, very nice. Has a good left foot on him. And the obvious three Bodø/Glimt, and the bench. Dalland has security spots. Hustad is a good enabler in attack because he will be subbed on. He will possibly get some starts as well, and he has already scored. So very nice team.
Yeah, thanks a lot. And Tropian is asking, Maigard. My God, I was like, my God, when he scored the penalties. And I knew that in Denmark, Danish, they almost pronounce my God. So yeah, I can't go for that. Am I sure? Not exactly the one I want to keep long term. I think it's a nice plan to go for Pellegrino, and they play Alisand and Stabæk, while Pellegrino might miss out. First of all, he's a doubt, but he has Molde midweek, so would be nice to read him in afterwards. So if he makes Mjøndalen, it would be tricky one. But I'm pretty confident that Strømgrosset is the one I want to target. Pellegrino next. So and then 3-5-2 is a permanent formation I'm looking at with a third spot potential rotation. So captain currently now it's on Eikrem. I have to be honest, I did not think about it too much because I was busy with the picks of the wildcard, so I'll spend the last few hours. But it is really between Eikrem, Salvesen, and it's tough now. I have 3 Bodø/Glimt that I don't know which one to captain now. For the first, it's like only Sindronagel, so I have no choice. But then I would be effectively quadruple on Bodø/Glimt because I have 3 and a captain. So I'm really looking for a decent result against Salzburg, which they can do, but I feel it's a bit of a risk. So Eikrem is currently now the captain. I might go for Salvesen, but we will see.
The good thing about this game week is that there is no clear captain. So if maybe Eikrem, he's usually the highest picked captain, but you will not get like a big rank loss if a player scores because the captaincy will be spread around so much. So it is difficult to pick the right one, but I don't think it is a crisis if another player scores and you don't have him as a captain.
Yeah, the only crisis player would be Borven if he gets another brace or another hat-trick. That would be madness. But Junker has very high ceiling as well. I agree. He looked really decent last game week, and the last 5 minutes he was just so rapid while the team was exhausted already. So I liked that pick. Right.
I'm just wondering when Bodø/Glimt will rotate because they have gone for the same lineup 3 games in a row now.
Yeah.
So we never know. Possibly a rotation at some point, but it's difficult to know at this point.
Yeah. Well, let's hope for the best. Right. So that's the very end of the stream. Jakob, thanks very much for joining me in a Saturday morning, which is not ideal for many, I imagine. But I'm really happy to see 23 people. It's like an evening. So thanks everyone for joining here, and good luck, Jakob. And you still have time to hit the wild card.
Good luck, everybody.
Yeah, and good luck to our viewers. Please like, share, and subscribe if you are first time around here. And see you next week.